Andy, thanks for spending time with us this afternoon. So the FA made a statement yesterday that football was going to be suspended until the end of April now. Just wanted to get your reaction on that first and foremost, with no football now until at least the 30th of April.
Well, firstly, we're living in very difficult times, and our thoughts are with everybody who has been immediately affected by coronavirus and the impact that's having on their lives. So the announcement that came out yesterday, which is a joint statement from the Premier League, the FA and the EFL, is the correct decision. We're not in a state as a country to go back to playing football. We're all clear of the requests that the government are making of us all and the sacrifices that so many people are having to make. So football is not in a place, as much as some of us would like to see it back in place, or people are saying, last week, why did we stop playing? I think the decision is absolutely the right one. And we now know where we are. We have some clarification that April the 3rd now is not the return date for the EFL. It's now going to be April the 30th. And along with the government guidance yesterday, our players won't be coming into the stadium or into Woughton to train until April the 3rd.
We'll come on to the footballers in a second. The statement from the FA came after another statement from the EFL the day before, which was more based around the finances, with the EFL advancing some payments to give some football clubs some relief in the short term. What type of impact does that have on clubs like us?
Well, I think for all football clubs, it was it's a very helpful measure that the EFL have brought into place. I think we have to make it absolutely clear, though, that it's not an injection of new money that's coming into the league. It's simply to enable clubs over what are going to be some difficult times ahead with no cash coming into their businesses, that the Football League have advanced the central distribution payments. So it's not new money coming in, but it's the league stepping up to the mark and saying to the clubs, look, we understand you're all going to have immense cash flow pressures, stresses. We want to protect the clubs. All of us want to see the situation where all 71 clubs in the Football League are going to be back in business and at the start of the 2021 season, let alone the ramifications whenever we do resume the 2021 season, which obviously, or the 1920 season, which is obviously the desire collectively, I think, of all clubs in the league that we can resume this season and keep going.
Obviously, talking about the stuff the EFL are doing for clubs in the short term, obviously it is a short-term fix. There's a lot of financial pressures for a lot of businesses at the moment that are going to go on for some time, and football's certainly affected in that. I'm sure you agree on that.
Yes, it's obviously cash is very tight for all football clubs at the moment. We all rely on match day income in football clubs. Every single club is not going to have that stream coming in over the next 6 to 7 weeks. A lot of clubs that were due to play at home last week have lost that. Obviously, there's bills to pay, there's wages to pay in the meantime, right across the board, and it's going to create a lot of difficulties. So one of the things that really amazes us at the moment is the number of season tickets that's being renewed, because a lot of clubs going into May and June traditionally, that is the source of cash that comes in, which gives you enough capital working capital over the summer months. In our case, we budget for things to come in direct debits in April, May, June, July, throughout the year. But nevertheless, people are coming in, renewing their season tickets either on direct debit or even in full, and that is absolutely critical to us that's coming in. So it's extra cash that we're in a situation we don't know yet when the 2021 season will start. We'll make the assumption it starts on the 1st of August. It might be delayed for 2 or 3 weeks, but people are showing faith, and that just underlines the support we're so lucky to have. And I just want to say a big thank you to all those who have made that commitment already. It means a lot.
On the football, as you mentioned, the team are staying away from the stadium, from training as a team for the time being. What is their regime at the moment? I imagine they're still being kept a watchful eye on by the coaching staff.
Yeah, it's important that obviously the players that remain in fitness. They're coming to a point of the season where fitness levels are really, really high, but we've got to keep them motoring, and the fact that they won't be coming back in collectively to train till the 3rd of April doesn't mean they're sitting at home doing nothing. They all have an individual training plan which Simon Crampton and Matt Wilmot have put together for them. They're actually all on an app, so we can obviously work together, track up what they're doing, and then we can tailor that program individually. So the app sort of records every run, every training or exercise that they're doing. They have video links in as well to our sports scientists, so the likes of Matt and and Tom are putting those together. So again, we can make sure that the correct regimes, which are obviously individually tailored by separate players depending where they are. So all of that is being completed, tracked, and which is great news. So they'll continue to do those programs over the next 3 weeks. I suspect when they come back into training on the 3rd of April, we know the risk is still going to be around, and this isn't a disease or a virus which is going away fast. So it may be coming into train in smaller groups. Those are some of the plans we're working on. So basically, we've got 2 or 3 different contingencies at the moment, which the sports science and medical team are working in conjunction with the coaches to make sure that we are ready to go and in peak condition for the planned return date on the 30th of April.
Finally, what would be your message to the supporters? I imagine, first of all, to stay healthy and to follow the guidelines like everyone else, but probably one that a lot of football clubs have done, which is a resilient approach that a lot of businesses are taking, that everyone's doing all they can to get through this in the best possible way. Absolutely.
I mean, please stay safe. Please follow the guidance as to the government's advice to us all. The quicker we do that, then the better, the sooner we can hopefully return to football. And our desire is that we all return. Every single one of our supporters is at the game whenever we come back to Stadium NK to play that first home game, whenever that may be. And as I said, the amazing resilience of football supporters in times like this is fantastic. And if anyone's got any ideas that we can keep them entertained and we can keep them engaged with our football club over the next few days, then please drop us a line, tell us what you'd like to see from us, and we'll do our utmost to make sure that football is very much a part of people's lives during what's going to be some very difficult days ahead.